Hello everyone, I hope you're doing okay today. Today I've got a bit of a headache, so I thought I'd just stay in my dressing gown and stay nice and comfy. Today we're going to be looking at drawing some of the beautiful pictures that Judy from Gardening has been sending through of her glorious garden bursting into life, and we're going to look at how we can look at these quite complicated compositions because there's lots of beautiful flowers there, and how we can kind of simplify it down and create something joyous and vibrant, and but that isn't too difficult and precise. Okay, so have a look at some of the beautiful pictures that Judy has taken. So those were some really gorgeous pictures. Thank you very much, Judy, for taking those for us and letting us draw them. Okay, so you might have been looking at those and being like, oh, they're a bit complicated for me today. There's a lot going on in them, they're very complex compositions, but there's a long history of artists painting gardens, and now we're going to look at some work from Monet and the Impressionists who particularly enjoyed drawing gardens, and through that we're going to find a nice expressive way to capture the essence of these pictures, even if we're not getting in every single detail. So have a look at some of these. So there are obviously some very famous paintings, some of the water lilies by Monet, some of the most popular artwork in the world. My favourite's the last one with the slightly more unusual colours with the kind of the reds and the oranges. And his way of painting there, really softly, just capturing where the light is, where the colour is, where the darkness is, and without going into too much detail, is a really nice way to work with this. If you've got paint, if you don't have paint, here's some more current artists who are working today. Their style is a bit more sketchy. It's got a lot more energy in it. So have a look at these guys and see if it kind of sets off anything for you. So those are really great if you've got paint, or if you've got coloured pencils or chalks, oil pastels. You can really look at those last three artists and look at some of the marks and how they're using and leaving the trace of where their material was. It's also a good opportunity if you want to try working on a coloured background, because that's where I think a lot of the vitality comes from, especially in the first example, Nick McPhail, and in the last example, Joey Yu. I think that really kind of sets off the base of their composition and makes it super interesting. So if you've got coloured paper and something that will show up on coloured paper, I'd really advise having a go at that because it's a whole load of fun. So we looked at quite a few different approaches there, so you might be feeling a bit like, oh, what are you asking me to do? But the main thing we're going to be looking at today is just capturing the lights and the darks of the composition. And if you want to go for the kind of more smooth Monet, that's up to you. Or if you want to go a bit more like Julie Yu, a bit more expressive, a bit more you can see where the lines are, you've got some really nice texture going on, that's up to yourself. So I'd advise maybe having a wee rewind back, have a look at the different examples and really look at how they're using the material and what types of marks they're making, and if there's any you really like, maybe make a wee mental note, and we can try them out in this drawing. So today I'm going to be doing this picture from Judy. I've picked this one because I really love the middle section there with the orange, the red and the blue. I think that's really gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I can play with colour and enhance that section. So some of the techniques that I'm going to be stealing from some of those artists there are, I'm going to look at this lovely picture by Julie Yu. I picked this one because I really love the mark making she's got in the background. It's not all focused in on one bit, it's all over the place, and I really love the teal contrast with the red and the white. I think it's mwah. So I'm going to try and emulate that a little bit. I've also really like this painting by Nick McPhail. I get the feeling that my composition is going to end up being quite messy. It's maybe going to be glossing over some areas that I don't want to draw. I'm focusing on some of the areas that I really do want to draw and enhancing those colours, and for that reason that's why I've picked out this picture here by BD Graft, because I think that kind of, it's probably what mine's going to end up looking like. I love the way the pink comes through on those leaves at the front, and in general how he's got the background colour coming through throughout the composition. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of that in my work. It can be nice to just kind of really take the time to isolate little bits of artists you like, think about why you like them, and maybe having a go at putting your own spin on stuff. I find this is a really helpful way that I've been developing my work. So have a go. Maybe you've got an artist in mind that you really like, so feel free to do that instead of the ones that I've showed you, because we've all got different taste. Alright, so today I'm going to be working on coloured paper. I've gone for purple, but don't worry, you can still use white paper, or if you've got paint, you could paint yourself a background colour. So you could go for the background colour you've got there, which is probably quite dark, maybe a dark green, or you could go for a slightly outlandish one like this one. I've picked purple because it contrasts with a lot of the colours in the picture, so then everything else is going to stand out. So today I'm going to be using a background of watercolour, and then I'm going to be using, once again, my arch nemesis, the oil pastel. If I did have acrylic paint or oil paint, I would be using that, so if you've got that, please use it. Also, if you've got coloured pencils, you can do this as well, it'll just take a little bit longer. So I'm using these for speed. Okay, so let's dive in. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing in my background is marking in some of the darkest areas. So normally you would be sketching your composition in, please feel free to do that. I'm not going to, because I'm going to be working in quite a loose manner today, so I'm going to be marking my background just by putting in the areas of darkness in my painting. So I've built up some colours here for my background, I've done all my really dark sections of the background, but I've also left some purple to shine through, so I can get that contrast between my greens, my oranges and my reds and my background colour. So now I'm going to start adding in my background foliage. I'm now going to start sketching in my key foliage just so I can really get the focus of my composition on them now I've got my background in. So now I've got in most of my block colour. It's very rough, very sketchy. I've just been focusing on shapes and colour. I'm now going to start to add in my highlights, because one of the best bits about this picture is all the dappled sunlight coming through the trees. So that's what I'm going to add in now. Here's my finished piece. It's very sketchy, it's very bright. I've got quite a lot of contrast in there, I've got a lot of darkness with some really bright white highlights. I've only kept some of my purple next to my oranges because I think they're really nice. If I could do it again, I'd probably, you might see this section's a bit blurry, it's because I had to go over it quite a lot, so I didn't get it quite right. But I'm quite pleased with all the enhanced colours. Yeah, so you can just go for really looking for colours and shapes, because when you look at this up close, it doesn't look like flowers. Whereas when you look at it far away, you can kind of see, the flower and the bounty bursting forth. Yeah, so have a bit of fun, really enjoy mixing and blending and just really going a bit wild with those materials there. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy drawing one of Judy's lovely pictures, or feel free to take your own and just have some fun playing around with some colour and some shape. Yeah, and I hope you like looking at those artists as well. So our joke for today is, my flatmate asked me if I think we should buy some garden furniture. What do you think? I'm sitting on the fence. Silly. Okay. Have a lovely day. Yeah. Have a nice day.